Welcome, gentlemen, to the Gray Fox Mandem, the channel that is dedicated to encouraging men as they enter the most fulfilling time of their lives. Look, this whole pandemic thing is coming to a close pretty soon. How would you like to be ready with a whole new post-pandemic wardrobe? Sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? Also sounds pretty expensive. But what if it wasn't? Maybe we should talk about that here in the GFM. Okay guys, I am Carl L. Kruger. Follow me on Instagram. I just wanted to share with you some of the massive deals that I've found in the past year or so on eBay. I'd like to share those with you. Maybe you're under the impression that it's not the place to go for new wardrobe items. If you may think that, let me help you out. eBay is not what it used to be. It's not just a place where you go find a 5-year-old washer and dryer. So what I want to do today is I want to show 5 jackets that I've bought on eBay in the last year or so. And then after that, maybe share a couple tips that I've learned through this process. Maybe it'll help you out with your post-pandemic wardrobe. So first up, guys, is one of my favorites. It's a chocolate velvet jacket from Armani Collezione. It was manufactured sometime in the late 80s to the early 90s. It is single-breasted, has 2 buttons. It is unvented in the back. It has been previously owned, but there is not a flaw on this guy. Price tag, $60. All right, next up, number 2 is a brown micro houndstooth pattern. Beautiful jacket, also by Armani Collezione. It is made of cashmere and silk and was manufactured sometime in the late 1990s. It is single-breasted, has 2 buttons. It is unvented in the back. It was previously owned. This is cashmere and silk. Normally this would run easily in the $600 to $900 range. Price tag, $135. Next up on our list, I have a dark charcoal with crimson pinstripes from Giorgio Armani. That's the big fashion house. That's the big boy. It was made sometime in the early 2000s. It is single-breasted, has 2 buttons, unvented, previously owned. Normally, a jacket of this caliber with no flaws on it, you would expect to pay $1,200 for this jacket. Price tag, $120. All right, guys, number 4 on our list, I have a navy blue cashmere and silk jacket by Giorgio Armani. This is black label. This is the top of the line. It is brand new, never been owned. So it was manufactured in 2020. It is single-breasted, has 3 buttons, so it's a little bit longer in the waist, which I like. It has these beautiful contrasting horn buttons. It is unvented in the back and it is silky smooth. It is like I'm wearing navy blue butter. Like I said, it was brand new. It came with the tag still on it. The price tag that was on this jacket was $3,495. What did I pay for it? $650. And lastly, number 5, I thought you guys might be kind of sick of Armani at this point, so I threw this one in there. It is a 100% virgin Scottish wool as made by Harris Tweed. This was made in the early 2000s. Single-breasted, has 2 buttons. The buttons are those classic leather buttons used by Harris Tweed. It has a single vent in the back. It is previously owned. Normally a very expensive jacket. Price tag, $55. Okay, now let's briefly talk about some tips that I've learned while navigating around eBay. Now, first of all, you want to be very careful with your search words. Be very specific. You want to know your measurements and search specifically for those. For example, I would search for, say, Armani silk jacket 40 regular. Now, after you do that, you'll have a whole list of items that pertain to those search words. Look at the seller. Check the reviews. Notice the length of time that they've been on eBay. If they've been on eBay for over 10 years, chances are pretty good you can trust them. There are many, many fine companies out there that use eBay as a vehicle to ship their products globally. Now, if you find an item that you might be interested in, if you checked out the seller and they look like they are a reputable company, next you want to really check out the specifics of that item. So like I did a search here on my phone for a Armani Collezione 40 regular gray check wool 3-button men's sport coat blazer jacket. So it's just the jacket, it's not the suit, the trousers are not included. Men's jackets, by the way, are probably the most complex wardrobe item out there, which is very important for us to have an understanding of that and an appreciation of it. Now, as I scroll down on this on my phone, I see that there is a description about this item. It says that it is pre-owned, it is a size 40, it does say condition is great, there is no defects, okay? And then it says zoom in on the last 2 pictures for measurements, style, fit, and more. There's also, I want you to pay notice of this, there's also a hyperlink in there that reads see full description. You'll see this on pretty much every item. So I click on that and it does bring me to this separate part of the site that was made by the seller, and it does have some additional information in here. You may find that you pore over these photographs of a particular item. There might be 12 pictures in there, and you're flipping through them and you don't see any flaws, but in the description it might actually say, hey, by the way, there's a small cigarette burn on the underside of the whatever, and they'll tell you that. Now on this particular item, you'll see that the measurements are listed on one of the photographs. You'll either see that here or you'll see that separately in that full description that I mentioned earlier. It is extremely important, guys, that you know your measurements before you go buy items on eBay. Your tailor can change a lot of things. Where the waist drops, where it hits on your waist, the length of the sleeves. Make sure that it hits right at the break of the wrist. But they can't change the shoulder. Make sure you know your measurements. And lastly, the 4th thing that I want to say is that after you get the item, I want you to authenticate it. If there is anything that you see in the item that you receive that is not the same as the photographs that you saw on eBay or in the full description that you read, I want you to contact the seller. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I have run into one instance where the item that I received was not the same item that was promised on eBay. It was a pair of Ray-Bans. In the product description, it said made in Italy. On the photographs on the frame of the sunglasses themselves, it read made in Italy. But when I got the item and I checked it out, made in China. Now, Ray-Ban is mostly made in Italy. They do have factories in China though. So it was still a Ray-Ban item, but it wasn't the item that was promised. It wasn't the item that I purchased. So I contacted the seller directly. I said, look, this is not what was promised. This is bait and switch. This violates the seller agreement on eBay. He was extremely apologetic, paid for all the shipping to get it back, sent me the real item. Everything was cool. But lesson learned, and I'm passing that on to you guys. Authenticate everything that you buy. That's it for me, guys. Do you have any eBay success stories? Put them down in the comments. Do you have any eBay horror stories? I want to hear about those too. As always, guys, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Stay classy.